Let me ask you something. Have you ever spent months, maybe even years, studying for an IT certification, only to realize when you finally passed the exam that the world didn't change? The dream job never came. The salary didn't jump. The recognition you expected never really came. This is the silent truth in IT. Some certifications are absolutely life-changing. They open doors, they validate your skills, and they give you credibility. But others, they are overrated. They promise too much, they cost too much, and they deliver too little. And today, in this video, we are going to expose the most overrated IT certification ever. We are not just going to guess. We will look at the history, real data, real salaries, and real stories from engineers who lived through it. Now, before we point fingers, let's step back and ask, why do IT certifications exist in the first place? Back in the 1990s, when the networking industry was exploding, companies like Cisco, Microsoft, and CompTIA, they needed a way to prove who really knew their stuff. Universities couldn't keep up with the new technologies, so vendors created certifications. If you had CCNA, it meant you could configure routers. If you had MCSE, it meant you could manage Windows servers. Certifications became the currency of skills, and for a while, it worked. In the 2000s, having a CCNA or MCSE could easily land you a job. Recruiters didn't care who you were, they cared about those letters. But something started to change. As the years passed, certifications multiplied. Hundreds of new exams appeared. Some were tough, like CCIE or CISSP, requiring years of preparation. Others were created mostly to sell training courses or exam vouchers. By the 2010s, the certification industry had become a business mission. According to Global Knowledge IT Skill and Salary Report, the global IT training and certification market was worth over 20 billion per year. For vendors, this was not just about validating skills, it was about revenue. And that's where the problem begins. When money drives the system, some certifications get hyped beyond their real worth value. Take the Certified Ethical Hacker, CEH. It sounds cool, right? Ethical Hacker. Who wouldn't want that title? But ask cybersecurity hiring managers and many will tell you, CEH alone proves very little. It shows you can memorize theory, but not that you can actually hack or defend the real system. Yet, thousands of people spend so much money just to sit that exam. Or look at the endless cloud fundamentals search. AWS Cloud Practitioners, Azure Fundamentals, Google Cloud Digital Leader. These are entry-level badges. And yes, they can help a beginner, but companies don't hire fundamentals engineers. They want architects, developers, and specialists. The fundamentals are often just a checkbox or moneymaker for vendors. Let me show you a poll I posted on LinkedIn about this topic. As you can see here, a lot of people actually believe that these entry-level certifications don't help much anymore. And maybe it's a bit early to say, but according to this poll, the number of people who think the CEH certification is overrated is pretty high. You can also see the other results. These are real professionals sharing their honest opinions. By the way, if you are on LinkedIn, don't forget to add me. Just search for Orhan Ergin. Alright, let's continue. So, the question becomes, which one is the most overrated of all? That's where we go next. So, which certification takes the crown as the most overrated in IT? Let's start with what overrated really means. It's not about being useless. Even an overrated cert might still teach you something. Overrated means that the gap between what people expect and what is actually delivering is big. And one name keeps coming up again and again. Certified Ethical Hacker, CEH. Listen carefully. Cybersecurity is one of the most in-demand fields in IT. The world needs skilled defenders more than ever. Data breaches cost companies billions. Governments call cybersecurity a national security priority. So when a certification with the title Ethical Hacker shows up, of course, people get excited. It sounds like Hollywood. It feels powerful. But here's the truth. Many security hiring managers say CEH doesn't prove hands-on ability. According to multiple reports, including feedback on social media and real survey by InfoSec Institute, CEH holders often struggle in interviews when asked to demonstrate real penetration testing skills. Why? Because the exam is largely multiple choice, it focuses on memorizing tools, not applying them. Compare that with OSCP, Offensive Security Certified Professional. The OSCP forces you to hack into real machines in a control lab. It's painful, it's long, and it's real. Hiring managers know that. They respect OSCP. That's why on job posting you will see OSCP preferred, while CH is often just an HR checkbox. Yet, CH is one of the most expensive and heavily marketed certs. Exam alone costs over $1,000 plus official training can push the price into thousands. For many students in India, Africa, or even Eastern Europe, that's several months of salary. And too often, the return on investment is not there. Now, let's be clear. CH is not the only overrated certification. We could talk about vendor fundamentals exam, think about AWS certified cloud practitioner on its own. It won't get you a job. It's like passing the written test for your driver license. A good step, but you cannot drive yet. The same goes for Azure fundamentals, Google Cloud, Digital Leader, and so on. These certs are marketed as the start of your cloud career, but in reality, they are a business model for cloud providers. Millions of people pay 100 to 150 each, and vendors collect enormous revenue, while real employers rarely consider them a deciding factor. And then there is CompTIA A+. Historically, it was a respected entry-level cert, but in 2025, ask yourself, does an IT helpdesk manager care about A+ anymore? Many companies now focus on experience, not a basic exam that tests knowledge of floppy drivers and outdated hardware concepts. Yes, CompTIA has updated the syllabus, but perception matters. Many professionals spend months chasing A+, only to realize the market barely values it. Let me share a story. A young engineer in Europe spent almost a year saving money, studying late at night, and finally passing CH. He was proud. His family celebrated. But when he applied for jobs, recruiters kept asking, "Do you have OSCP? Do you have real penetration testing experience?" He felt crushed. The paper certificate didn't open the doors he imagined. On the other side, I know another engineer who focused on skills. He set up a home lab, hacked into vulnerable machines, contributed to open source security tools, and documented everything on GitHub. Within months, he had multiple offers. Without a flashy cert, it's a contrast to show the real picture. Now, you might be asking, is it just about security certs? Not at all. Even in networking, take CCNP. Not at all. Overrated certs exist across IT, even in networking. CCNP, for example. It used to be the middle ground between CCNA and CCIE. Valuable, respected. Today, some engineers argue that CCNP now tries to cover everything. Too many tracks, too many redesigns. Cisco changes the exam blueprint every few years, even less than that, and many professionals feel like they are chasing moving targets. Meanwhile, employers often care more about CCIE or just real-world skills. So CCNP is like the certification stuck in the middle. This doesn't mean CCNP is useless. If you study for it, you will learn real things, routing, switching, automation basics, but again, the hype versus reality can feel mismatched. So far, we have seen CH, expensive, hyped, low hands-on value, cloud fundamentals, entry-level, mass-marketed, low employer demand. CompTIA A+, outdated reputation, questionable ROI. CCNP sometimes crouches in the shadow of CCIE. And this brings us back to the big question. Out of all of this, which one deserves the title of the most overrated IT certification ever? I think you already know the answer. So here it is. After looking at all the contenders, the certification that most people across forums, surveys, and industry feedback agrees the most overrated is CEH, Certified Ethical Hacker. Why CEH? Because the name is powerful, but marketing is brilliant, but the reality often disappoints. People expect it to prove hands-on hacking skills, employers expect it to guarantee a strong security engineer, but the exam structure, the lack of practical testing, and the enormous cost make it a poor return on investment compared to real-world skill building or certification like OSCP. Now, I want to be clear. If you already have CH, this doesn't mean your effort was wasted. It means you need to build on it. Pair it with hands-on labs, open source contributions, real project, and so on. Certifications alone rarely define your career. Your skills, your persistence, and your ability to solve real problems do. And that's the deeper lesson here. Overrated certifications exist in every corner of IT. Some networking certs lose their shine as technology shifts. Some cloud badges are more about revenue than real skills. Some security exams sell dreams without real outcomes. But here is the hope. The industry is also full of certification that truly matters. Cisco CCIE still proves deep expertise. OSCP demonstrates grit and real hacking skills. AWS Solution Architect show you can design real architectures. These are tough, respected, and valuable. The truth is, certifications are tools, they are not the destination. If you treat them as shortcuts, you will be disappointed. If you treat them as stepping stones, combined with the real experience, they can change your life. Think about this. Some of the best IT professionals I have met never had the fancy certification. We have a lot of videos with them on my YouTube channel, like Tony P, Farinanchi, Jeftansura, Keyur Patel, and many other professionals. They build phone labs, they join open source projects, they taught themselves through trial and error. They contributed a lot to the standard bodies such as IETF, IEEE, and so on. And when those people walk into an interview, their passion speaks louder than any certificate ever could. And yet, others, with the right mix of certifications and skills, use that combination to reach the top, to land jobs at Fortune 500 companies, to design the backbone of the internet, to secure billion-dollar networks. So maybe the question is not which certification is the most overrated. Maybe the real question is, how do we stop chasing hype and start building real value? If you are watching this and you have felt disappointed after earning a cert that didn't deliver, you are not alone. Thousands have been there. But that is not the end of your story. That is the beginning of realization. Don't let the hype control your career. Don't chase paper because of marketing. Focus on skills, on community, on solving real problems, and choose certifications that reflect that. Because at the end of the day, no single piece of paper defines you. You define your career.
Enjoy studying with Orhanagan.net.